Great. Well, welcome everybody. As you may have noticed, both in the group as well as in the emails, we are doing things a little bit differently today. So this is going to be a deep dive workshop, which means fancy PowerPoint presentation, which means worksheet, which you should have gotten in your email just a little bit ago. And if not, I can put it in the chat when we get to that part of the program. But yeah, the replay is going to be available. It will be on my YouTube channel in a private playlist. So if you miss it, if you have to pop out early, or if there's ever a time going forward where we're doing these deep dive workshops, um, that you want access to that replay, just make sure that you register so I know to send you that in an email. One of the other things that we're going to do a little bit differently today is we're not going to go around the Brady Bunch room today and do introductions like we normally do. For those of you off camera, you're welcome. However, I do still believe in community and connection and all of those good things. So if you would, go ahead and you can give an introduction. You can add your links to the chat, kind of tell people who you are, excuse me, where you are in the country. Maybe give your website link, your LinkedIn link. Just remember any links you put in the chat, you have to add the HTTP part to it. Otherwise, it won't hyperlink and be easy for people to click. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Cool. Let's get this party started. Why can't I see my chat window? I want to make sure I'm paying attention to you all. Well, hopefully it will pop up. Okay, so I think most of you are in the Rockstars group already. If you are not, hang on, I gotta find that chat button. Bear with me, friends. There it is. Okay, here is Facebook. And I don't know if y'all know, but we are also on LinkedIn. So I'm going to give you both links. Okay, so you can have it. The difference really is, well, Facebook is the OG. I know not everybody likes Facebook, but that's where we started. That's where we have the biggest numbers. That's where we have community and collaboration. And it's really great for getting more tips and tricks and camaraderie. It's a safe place to ask questions. On LinkedIn, it's becoming more of a really easy place for me to share job and project opportunities. So if you're looking for those, that's the best place for that. So keep that in mind going forward. Also, if you are in the group, of course, you get exclusive invitations, you get exclusive discounts, all of those good things. So just kind of be aware of those things going forward. Maybe turn on your notifications for the group if you're not seeing the posts very often, and we'll go from there. Obviously, if you are getting off Facebook or don't use it very much, I think those of you on the call, I have you in a separate special email list. So you're getting extra notifications about the meetup. So hopefully that's helping. If not, just let me know and we can figure something else out. Okay. Who I am. You all on the call know who I am, so I am not going to waste your time with this today. This is really for the newbies. But I do want to say, y'all, this month marks my 28-year anniversary freelancing. Isn't that crazy? Mind blown. 28 years of being self-employed. And I will be the first one to admit I haven't always been a freelance rock star, right? But I have learned so much over the years. And that's why I want to give back to the community. That's why I formed the group, formed the Freelance Exchange. That's why I live, breathe, teach, speak, and coach on all things freelancing and self-employment. I want you all to learn from my mistakes and my experiences because I want you all to find success much sooner than I did. So that is why we are here today. And hopefully I can give you all of those great tips to help you going forward. Okay. Nice elevator pitch. Oh, for Cordelia, you're not talking to me. Thanks, Angie. No worries. I'm late to the party. I know, I know. Okay, so let's get this, speaking of, let's get this party started, right? Today we are talking about brand visibility. What is visibility in a nutshell? It is how much your brand is seen. Okay, now there's a little bit of a difference between brand awareness and brand visibility, All right. Brand awareness is really more how familiar people are with your brand. Your brand is essentially why people will choose you over your competition. Okay. Now, brand visibility is more of how often and how well you connect with your audience. So the two are intertwined, but they are essentially different. Brand visibility is how you stand out, how you're going to amplify your brand, how you're going to build authority in your niche. Okay. Got it? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Angie. So keep this in mind. In its essence, brand visibility makes the following visible. It is who you serve. Okay. It is, got somebody coming in. Okay. It is who you serve. It is the problem you solve, and it's how you can help. Okay. I'm going to repeat that in case you want to jot it down. Who you serve, the problem you solve, and how you can help. All right. This needs to be part of your visibility strategy to ensure you're getting noticed, to ensure you're attracting the right clients, because you want to be seen by your target audience, right? You may be extraordinarily good at what you do, and I know many of you are, but if your prospective clients aren't aware of who you are or what you offer or what you do, you're not doing yourself any favors, unfortunately. All right. So it's our responsibility as solopreneurs, as creatives, whatever you want to call us, it's our responsibility to let them know. And this also is not just for potential clients, but think about potential referral partners as well. Okay. Because it takes all types to make up our network. And a lot of people can refer us if they know who we are, if we know what we offer, if they know how we can help. Okay. And what we do. Okay. One thing to remember about brand visibility is it's not about being louder. It's about being smarter. And that's why we're talking about boosting your visibility today without being burnt out, because it's so easy to get burnt out on this kind of stuff. Ask me how I know. Seriously. Okay, so we're going to be smarter about things. Now, why is brand visibility important? If you all have questions, feel free to plop them in the chat here, and I will try and address them as we go. I may call on a couple of you going forward if I have questions for you or if I want you to share your experience. But why is visibility important? Okay, it is important to your success because you know you've got something special. You know you've got the skills, the talents, the chops. But how are you going to stand out in a crowd? Okay, because there's a lot of talented people out there. There's a lot of creative people out there. So think about when a prospective client realizes that they need somebody like you. You need to be top of mind. How do you get there? How do you become top of mind? Let's say your ideal client, your target audience, let's say a prospective client realizes they need somebody like you, whether you're a designer, a writer, a photographer, whatever you are, and they go to Google and they say, I need, let's say, Kansas City-based illustrator. Okay. Or maybe they don't even put Kansas City. I need a freelance illustrator or freelance designer. Would they be able to find you? Furthermore, what if they Googled your name? Okay. So, Jen, I see you. I'm going to pick on you. So, Jen, if somebody Googles Jen Rary, what's going to come up? Okay, everybody do this real quick. Go to Google, type in your name or your company name and see what comes up. Okay, and then let us know in the chat.
A lot
Well,
comes up for me because I have an unusual last name.
uh-oh.
I mean, I mean that mostly in a good way.
hmm The idea is that you want to dominate that first page. So ideally, you'd want to show up top without having to purchase a sponsored post or listing, right? But ideally, you want to dominate that page. And if you're not dominating that page, guess what? You've got some work to do. But I can help you with that with this visibility workshop today. What was the third part of brand visibility? Hold on. Who you serve, the problem you solve, and how you can help. I think that's what you were looking for. Okay. Angie's got a bunch of stuff that comes up. Awesome. Good job. That's amazing. Okay. So you want to dominate that first page. Now, there are other Julie Cortezes out there, so I'm fighting with them as well. Unfortunately, it's a popular name, and of course, everybody else speaks Spanish, and I don't. So that's funny too. However, you want to dominate that. And so, how you get there is by getting yourself more visible, okay? Because not only are we training our potential clients, our potential referral partners, now we're also training Google. Now we're also training AI to find us because we want to be visible. So we show up, okay? When clients go to Google or whatever search function they're using, when they go looking for somebody like us and they get a list of names, they have 1/10 of a second to make a decision. So you better be up top. Okay. Again, dominate that first page. If you're not showing up first, if you're not showing up in a positive light, in a professional light, you're missing out. Okay. We want to be known for our business, for our talent, for our services. You can try and hide behind your logo, to hide behind your brand, and let your work speak for itself. Again, many of you are super, super talented, and that's great. However, if clients aren't knocking down your door, then something is not connecting. Okay, we've got to remember that people connect with people and not just services. People connect with people and not just brands. People connect with people and not just your offers. Okay, so think about relationships equal clients. How can we nurture that client relationship? Okay. Cordelia has a swimmer in New Zealand, has the same name. That's right. You have a very unique name too. That's really funny. Okay. So think about how you're going to stand out. And remember that it's a strategy. It's not just going at it willy-nilly. It does take clarity, it does take consistency, it does take discoverability. All right. So we are going to make that happen today. Right. Okay. Questions, comments before I move on? Nope. All right. I can only see like four of you in my little side window, so you all are up. Okay, next up, get out that worksheet I sent you. If you don't have it in your email, let me put it in the chat here for you real quick. Oh, I've got too many windows open. And I do have a couple of different options for you. So I do have a PDF, which you can print out. It should also be fillable. Thank you, Alicia, for your help on that. Okay. Let me give you, here comes the PDF if you don't have it already. And then if you would like a PNG, if you don't like PDFs, let me see if I can get that over to you as well. Okay, you have options. They are in the chat. All right, pull that up. Make sure that is front and center. And let's keep rocking and rolling on this. Okay, so we're going to start on the right-hand side of this worksheet because I like to do things differently. Okay, so we're going to start on the right-hand side because why not? These are the essentials that you've got to be absolutely crystal clear on before anything else going forward. All right, so we are going to start with USP. Now, USP, for those of you who don't know, stands for unique selling proposition, or you might have heard it as unique selling point. Essentially, it's fancy marketing speak for your differentiator. What makes you unique? What makes you different? What makes you special? What makes you better than your competition? Why should clients buy from you and not anybody else? Okay, so think about that for a minute. And it may even take more time than a minute. So come back to this later, maybe jot down some notes. But I want you to think of one thing and one thing only that nobody else can claim, none of your competition can claim, okay, that makes up your USP. It could be something about your style. It could be something about the services that you offer, the mediums that you work in. The list goes on and on. What is your USP? We've got to get clear on this before we dive into any sort of visibility exercise. Okay? Okay. Got it? Yes, thank you. Okay, next, who is your ideal client? Again, this might take some time to really dig into. So jot down some notes now if it helps. But you really want to start with their demographics and psychographics, right? Demographics are kind of like the who, what, where part of them. Like, who is your target audience? What is their title? Um, like, build out a client avatar. What is the company that they work at? Are they at a big ad agency? Are they at a corporation? Are they a small business? Are they a not-for-profit? Um, and then like dig into the person who would be your contact, right? Is it the creative director? Is it the marketing manager? Like build out this avatar. What does this person look like? What do they do? How much education do they have? What's their title? Um, Even like what part of the country are they in? Are they even local to the United States? Where is your target audience? Okay. Really dig down into the demographics. And then you get into the psychographics, which I find fascinating because these are the things that encourage people to buy. They motivate people to buy. Um, what kind of lifestyle do they live? Do they drive? Like what kind of vehicle do they drive, right? Is it a super fancy car? Is it an old pickup truck? Like again, you're painting a picture in your head. Now you may not know exactly because you don't want to stalk too much your ideal clients at all. But you do want to paint a picture of who they are, what motivates them, what side do they lean politically, what kind of music do they like, maybe what religion are they or none, right? Think about the different things that make up who they are so you can understand them better and what's going to help motivate them to buy. So figure that out and then really try and ask yourself, what is your client's pain point? That's everything we want to know. What is that thing that keeps them up at night? What is that problem that they're trying to solve that hopefully you can solve going forward? Okay. Again, this may take some time to think about. So if you don't have it all right now, right this minute, that's totally okay. But think about your clients, your ideal client's biggest challenge, your biggest problem. Okay. And that's going to go underneath pain point. Okay. Next, I'm questioning you. What is one visibility habit you ought to be more consistent with? What could you do more of? Is it social media? Is it email marketing? Is it networking? Is it speaking? Is it whatever the case may be? What is something that's been lingering in the back of your head that you've been wanting to do or maybe trying to do, but you really haven't mastered it just yet? Okay. Just one thing, just pick one for now. Okay. And add that here. I feel like the more we write things down, the more visual they are, right? And then the more they're top of mind, and then, we're more likely to create goals and set action steps so we can go forward and start achieving these things. Email marketing. Thank you, Alicia. Yay. I love audience participation in the chat. Yes. Gold star for you. Okay. Then next up, same email marketing. Your funnel has two emails. All right. Yes. Email marketing is huge. And those of you who have come to my workshops before know this. Like emails have a much higher conversion rate than social media. So while social media is easy and free, it doesn't convert people as well as email does. So those of you who have email on your radar or who are already doing it, kudos, good job. Everybody else, maybe take a look at it. Email outreach. But was that just like cold emails, Cordelia? Or was that newsletters and stuff? Because I feel like there's a difference.
There is a big difference. I am pretty good about sending out a monthly newsletter. That's just very conversational.
Okay.
And for, like a little bit of insight, a little bit of what I'm thinking of. So I do monthly email, but I'm talking about reaching out, researching, spending all of that time doing all the research and reaching out in a very targeted way to potential clients.
Mhm.
And
So cool.
I did get one really good client from that, but that has been, uh, it's like, it's hard to know if that is worth doing or not.
Right. Right. I think you follow Ed Gandia as well, right? Like, and he's super big on that.
He is, but I don't like his I like Ed a lot. I don't like his approach to it, so I've refined it
Good.
significantly. Yeah,
Okay.
I thought
Yeah.
it's yeah, but yes, I was doing that. That's where I was starting. Yes.
Okay. Very good. Yeah. This stuff that we're going to cover today, it's not for everybody, right? Like, and so that brainstorm checklist that you see on the left, I'm not saying you have to do each and every one of these things. Find the things that work for you, find the things that work for your target audience, right? And I don't want you to be overwhelmed with any of that. So, great conversation. Thanks for chiming in there with that. Okay, so think of the one thing that you need to be more consistent with, all right, and jot that down there. And then we're going to move on to the next part, and that is what is the one thing that is stopping you from doing that? Is it imposter syndrome? Is it time? Is it strategy? Is it consistency, motivation, confidence? Like, what is that one thing that's holding you back? And if anybody wants to share, that would be great. What's holding you back?
I'll even come off mic.
Yeah,
Um,
great.
Honestly, I'm working on other things, you
It's
know,
oh,
other business building things. And so the email marketing just is very low on the list.
it's hard.
Yeah.
Uh,
Everything's a priority, so nothing is a priority.
right?
Right.
I'm glad you said the other stuff you're working on though is also business building and not just like paid client work, because of course that always comes first, right?
Right. Right.
But I'm glad you are doing some business building. One of the best tips that I ever got from a business coach many years ago was to set aside time every single day to work on marketing. Every single day. And I think if you put it in your schedule, if you time block and be like, okay, I'm working on my newsletter this week, or this day, or whatever the case may be, I think that helps. And again, visually seeing it, keeping it top of mind, I think that would be super helpful. And again, baby steps. Like when I first started my email newsletter, it was not monthly. It was like maybe once a quarter if I was lucky, kind of thing. So, but we've got to make a schedule for it, right? And then treat ourselves like we are our own clients. And I think that that will help. So maybe try that tip and see if it helps you get started, get
Mhm.
motivated, right?
Yeah, I often say that I have four part-time jobs, and one of them is building my business.
Absolutely. I know some, so that tip was 1 hour a day. I know some people who spend half of their day every single day doing business building activities, which is amazing. I don't know how they have time to get their paid work done. You know?
Well, maybe they're doing that because they don't have the paid work.
Could be, or maybe they want to be
Uh,
more than just a freelancer and want to like
right,
have a design studio or something, and
right,
maybe they're
right.
outsourcing. I don't know, but I have questions.
That's what I was going to say. If you're charging appropriately, you can outsource.
hmm
Because yeah, your chief job as a business owner is communication, communication, communication.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so we have to be intentional with creating visibility. It's not just going to happen overnight. So let's jump over to the left side now to that checklist. And again, let me reiterate, you do not have to do all of those things. Whoops. You don't have to do all of those things. This is just my brain dump. And if you have other ideas, feel free to put them in there. Um, Again, pick and choose the things that speak to you. But then I also want to challenge you, okay, with a couple that might feel a little uncomfortable because I want to push you. I want to push you a little bit forward. I want you to level up, okay? So if doing email marketing sounds crazy to you, like maybe you try that, right? And see how it goes. Again, we also have to figure out not only what resonates with us, but with our target audience, right? What is going to work? And again, like doing it once or twice isn't going to cut it. We got to be consistent with it to really see results, whether they work or whether they don't, okay? Okay, moving right along. Okay, so first off, we are jumping into brand basics. Um, Now, your brand obviously is all about building authority. It is showing that you know your stuff. And this can be shown in a lot of different ways. And we have to get these out of the way before we jump into the rest of the visibility options. Okay, so obviously, your logo, business name if you have one, a tagline. A lot of people forget that, which makes my little copywriting heart sad. Okay, copywriter heart sad. All right, but think about all of these things. Think about your brand colors. Think about your fonts. Think about your theme. Julie, what is a theme? Oh, anybody see a rock star theme around here? What? What? For those of you who may have known me for a long time, I used to have a disco theme, believe it or not. Yeah, now it's all rock music. So I still love the disco music, but I had to embrace the wild child. Okay, so think about that. If you have one, you don't have to have one, but think about what of this you have and then make it consistent for everything that you do. Think about a bio that you might have typed up. Okay, think about different versions, different lengths for different uses. Some people want a 50-word bio, some or a character. Some people want 100, right? So think about the 100-word bio. Think about that. Like what different options can you have and have readily available? Okay. What about a professional headshot? If you don't have one, I highly recommend you get one. Okay, super helpful. There are some very easy and affordable ideas, options that you can get out there. Some people are turning to AI. I don't know if personally I'm a fan of that, but it's something to consider if you're short on cash. Okay, something. You need to have something. Think about also, if you are getting headshots done, about fleshing that out into a branding shoot. So you can have additional photos that you can play with, whether for your promotions or your website or what have you. I tell you, it was the best spent money I've ever spent. The best money I've ever spent was doing a branding shoot. Okay, now I have options, not just like one or three different headshots. Now I have different poses, different looks, different, looks on my face, different personalities that I can play with. And it's been a lot of fun. And again, people connect with you. Okay, it's all about relationships. I can't even tell you how many people I'll meet out in the wild and they act like we're best friends and they've known me forever. And I'm like, I have no idea who you are, but they see me online all the time. So they think they know me, but I have no clue. But see that connection piece, it's working. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get across. Okay, your website, have it be optimized for SEO and AI searches. A well-designed, well-written, well-organized site, I feel, is super essential for credibility. Make it easy for people to learn more about you when they do find you. Now, if you're first starting off and don't have a website just yet, that's okay. We've all been there. But use a portfolio site or even social media, someplace where you can showcase your brand, someplace where you can show your work. And this could be on social media. This could be the Freelance Exchange of Kansas City, our member directory online on our website, if you're in Kansas City or around the area. It could be Behance. It could be Creative Hot Lists, like whatever. Just have something. Have some sort of online presence, okay, where people can find you. Um, Jen, I do want to tap into you here for a minute because I know you were going down the rabbit hole on optimizing for AI. Could you share what you learned on that?
I'm still in the rabbit hole on AI. Um, I haven't really figured out yet how to get AI to recommend you. So I do use it to check my work, to give me suggestions as a brainstorm partner, that type of thing. And in a couple instances, I've had it recommend services to me, but I haven't figured out how to get myself inserted into that process specifically yet.
Angie, you speak on AI a lot, right? Okay,
Yep.
do you?
Yeah. So I have a couple of tips.
Great.
It loves questions because it people usually search by asking a question. And so if you have that question in the copy in your website, it's gonna pick that up and say, oh, it's already answering the question, so I can provide this as part of my answer. So if you're doing keyword research, like in SEMrush, for instance, which is an SEO research tool, you can click a button that gives you questions that people search for instead of just the phrases. And so you can put those like as your subheaders. So you've got a subheader for sections and how do I open a bank account, or how do I choose a freelance graphic designer, because that would be something that somebody would search for. And so by essentially using the same language that the AI chatbots use, it's more likely to show up. You can also use, like particularly in WordPress for the Yoast plugin, you can choose different kind of, it's called schema, which is a background language, kind of like HTML, and it tells other computers what type of content to expect. And so if you put in a fact section and mark it as a fact section, which you can do with the Yoast plugin, that also not only is everything phrased as a question, but the AI chatbots know to expect that questions are coming. So having fact questions on pretty much every page, or just 3 questions at the end of every blog post, or on your services, I mean, just put them all over your site. I mean, it's also good for users because it's kind of like a TLDR. This is the 3 points that you want to answer, but it also helps with AI visibility because it's looking for answers to whatever people are asking. So those are 2 quick things.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Appreciate that. I had heard something recently about how like SEO isn't so great anymore, and now we really need to get into this AI search thing. So I don't
Not
know if I
not
necessarily
actually
believe
true.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, SEO is not dead, it's evolving, and it's evolving to include AI because AI overviews, which you see at the top of the search results page, as well as showing up when you search in a chat bot. But all of the core basics of SEO, of using the keywords that you're talking about, because just I mean, you're not going to use the word, badgers if you're talking about, vacuums. So, I mean, it makes sense to use those keywords in your copy and write relevant content that is helpful and answers questions. So all of that is what SEO has always been about, and that's still true.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I love that. I'm sure we could do a deep dive on that another day, but appreciate your input on that. Cool. Okay. A couple other things, or a few other things underneath brand basics. Your social media handles, if you can, make them match on every single platform that you're on. So, for example, I'm at Freelance Rockstar, right? So, if you can, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you are, I know there's a flurry of platforms nowadays, and you do not have to be on all of them. Pick the one you like, pick the ones where your potential clients are, okay, and make it match if you can. Okay, I find that to be super helpful when it comes to branding. Your social media bios, again, should be similar on every single page that you go to. Obviously, we have different character counts because that's what they do. Your social media cover photos, same thing. Make a match, different sizes, but make a match when it comes to that brand visibility. Now, one thing I want to point out that a lot of people miss, okay, on your personal Facebook page, if you are on Facebook, on your personal Facebook page, fill out that intro. Fill out where it says work, and where you can put your company page, you can put your website, fill that all out. Okay, you want to make sure that's visible to people who might be visiting your page. So, for example, if you commented on a post in a business group on Facebook, and I'm curious about who you are, I'm going to go to your page first, before connecting or even replying. I want to know more about you. Um, A, have that filled out. Make sure you're not missing out on that. And B, make sure that particular section is open to the public, is visible to the public. Okay. A lot of people miss out on that. So, don't, now that I've told you, go ahead and make that public. Okay. One other thing you can do for your brand is to have an email signature at the bottom of all of your emails that you send out from your business email address. Okay, again, brand consistency across the way, whether it's your logo, your theme, your headshot, what have that be consistent so it looks similar everywhere you go. Okay, moving right along. Okay, we got plenty of time. I got plenty of stuff to cover. Okay, offers. This is how you want to nurture your target audience. Okay, so you may start with, if you don't have already, I highly recommend this, some sort of lead magnet, right? We're talking a freebie, something somebody can go to your website and get for free, whether it's a PDF download, a quiz, a survey, an ebook, a checklist. What is something that your target audience might find valuable? Right? So first of all, they're going to be like, "Oh, this is really cool. Thank you so much, for providing this for free on your website." But pro tip, they have to put in their email address in order to get it. Oh, what are you doing now? You're building your email list. So you can then do email marketing. See how that works? Right? Don't give everything away for free without capturing something in return. Okay? So lead magnet, freebie, highly recommend. Then you have your base offer. All right. It's graphic design, it's copywriting, whatever that is. Okay. What is your signature offer? Maybe you only want to do websites, right? What is it? What is your signature offer? Maybe you do something completely specialized that nobody else in your competitive sphere offers. What is your signature offer? And then how can you even boost that up a level? Think about upsells, right? How can you bundle things? How can you package things together? So, for example, let's say somebody comes to you and wants a logo done. Okay, well, you and I both know that there's so much more to a brand package than a logo. How do you upsell them on that? How do you put together a style guide or a brand book for them? How do you also help them with their fonts and their colors? And the list goes on and on. Okay. How can you bundle things to try and upsell? And then, even like when you offer those bundles and those packages, instead of saying, okay, well, you could get these things a la carte for these, prices, but tell you what, if you get it all as a bundle package, I'll give you 10% off. Okay, whatever it is, but you're upselling, you're getting more work, you're getting more money because you've bundled that all together. People like that. Make it easy for them. A lot of people don't even know that they need all of that other stuff. So it's our role to let them know that. Okay, yeah, Martina.
Yeah, I have a question since we're talking about like upselling. Um, that works really well for small organizations, small businesses, but how do we, and maybe we're going to talk about that later, but I thought I have a question about it right now. How do we kind of upsell or try to get more work from like a bigger organization or like an ad agency that are just kind of throwing you projects here and there. And maybe it's just about having a good relationship.
Right. Well, and I think you're right. I think ad agencies in and of themselves are more of the one-off projects that we're probably going to be getting. But if you have a smaller business, like you do websites, right? So let's say you create a website for them, but then you could upsell them on a maintenance package, right? So you have that recurring income. Maybe they put you on retainer to help them with that maintenance going forward. But that's a great question. Let's brainstorm offline and we'll keep going. Okay. Awesome. And if anybody else has ideas, feel free to put them in the chat for. Okay. Awesome. 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 Um, so think about all of these things that we're talking about, right? So visibility in practice, like you do not need to be everywhere. Again, I don't want you all to be burnt out, but you do need to be somewhere. Okay. So that trust portion, that connection portion, that opportunity portion, they all start with visibility. So think of it as you're not doing it for your ego. Think about doing it for impact. All right. Let me say that again. Think about doing that not for your ego, but doing it for impact. And I think that mindset shift might help some of you. Like, I don't want to be that person that talks about myself all the time, but you have to, right? You have to, because otherwise people aren't going to know who you are. They're not going to buy from you, all those things. Um, okay, good chat. Yes, you all talk amongst yourselves. I'm sorry. I have a lot to cover. I want to make sure we get done on time. So I'm going to keep going. Okay, next is going online. All right. How many people here have a Google business profile? Raise your hand. All right. Guess what you got to do next? All right. Add that to your to-do list. Super easy to do. Doesn't cost you any money. Go to Google, set up a business profile. Okay. You want to be easily found. Um, I think that's a simple, real simple thing to do. Think about online directories that you can get in. Obviously, if you're in the Kansas City area, you can be in the Freelance Exchange directory. I know there's other directories elsewhere, whether it's Ad Club or AIGA. Think about even like your local Chamber of Commerce, different organizations that might have directories that are searchable that you can join and then get a listing. Super helpful. What about even here on Zoom? All right, look at how your name appears in, oh, sorry, Sid, your cat's tail just fully
I
blew.
know.
At least Jen's cat isn't on her head right now, so it happens. Okay, think about how your name appears on Zoom. All right. Now, I recommend not just having your name, but also having one of the following: your title, your company name, your website. One of those things, okay? You'll see Jen's got her name, I've got my title, Alicia's got her website, right? Okay, now you can do it while you're on the call. If you go up to the three dots in your little square, there should be a place there where you can rename what shows up there. But take it from somebody who's learned the hard way, that doesn't stay permanent. You have to go back and change it in the settings. So when we get off the call, go check your Zoom settings and change it. But keep in mind, when you're meeting with clients on Zoom or Google Meet or whatever platform you use, you want to have that branded some way, somehow. Don't miss that super easy opportunity to change that. Okay. Um, Obviously, you can do emails and newsletters. We've talked about that. You can do podcast guesting. There's a great group on Facebook. I don't know if they're on LinkedIn, but it's, need a guest, something like need a guest, be a guest kind of thing. And people put their opportunities in there all the time. If you're looking for more interview opportunities, media interviews, get in there and start following along and responding. You can get a lot of opportunities for podcasts. Um, think about even doing collaborations with other people, like leveraging other people's audiences, whether it's through a podcast, whether it's a media interview, or like you see people getting interviewed by, what is it, Bold Journey magazine or Voyage magazine, right? Those are the popular ones we see a lot of. You're getting in front of other audiences through them. So think about that. Or let's say, Jen, you and I wanted to pair up and do some sort of collaboration. Maybe we worked on something and it's all about our love for dogs, right? We could do a collaboration on Instagram. We could both go live. We could both share the same thing, and then all of a sudden, like your face and your brand is in front of my audience and the same in return. Okay. So you can either go live, you can share, you can cross post, cross promote. All of those things are super helpful.
We should
You
do
could also do guest blogs, guest posts on each other's blogs or newsletters.
Yes, absolutely. That's down below in my list. You got it. Star student right there. Awesome. Writing your own articles, writing your own blog posts. I think that's helpful too. Of course, you can do online advertising, banner ads, boosted posts. You all know that. Participating in forums and groups, discussing, again, like if your name shows up and they go and click on your name, you want them to be able to see who you are and what you do. If you use Linktree or a similar service, make sure that's branded as well. I know Jen and I had fun going down that rabbit hole at one point, and there's a lot of capabilities on there, even if you're on the free version. So take advantage of that. Okay, I'm going to keep moving along because we are running out of time. Next, we are going to everybody's favorite, social media. Okay, again, you do not have to be on all the platforms. Just which ones are going to bring you the right prospects, not just followers, but you want your prospective target audience on there. Think about devising a cross-platform strategy. Okay, so don't just use one, use maybe a couple or three. Think too about things like personal versus business. Like on Facebook, we have our personal page, and then you have the opportunity to have a business page. Same thing with LinkedIn. If you have a business page on Facebook, Maybe keep your business posts to your business page so you're not inundating your friends and family with posts that aren't applicable to them. Again, where is your target audience? Where are they hanging out? Where are they going to be likely to see your stuff? The thing about LinkedIn, having both personal and professional page, I like it simply for two reasons. One of which it gives me an added free opportunity to get in front of people's eyes because we never know with that pesky algorithm, right? The other thing is I can do a slightly more tailored, more specific, more salesy tone message like from my business page. Okay. So as opposed to just blasting it out into the universe on my personal feed. Okay. So think about those things, about having both and then also using both appropriately. Okay. Um, okay. Where am I? So, obviously on social media, don't post and ghost. That's probably the worst thing you can do. Come back, engage with people. If somebody commented on your post, reply to them, like it, share things, comment on other stuff, share their stuff, right? The more interaction you can have, the better off you'll be. Again, we're building community. We're building relationships with people. When it comes to posting, think about content pillars, different things that you can post, think content pillars, content buckets, whether it's different kind of value that you offer, value posts. Like I do freelance tips, right? What could you do? Um, think about sharing your story, about your journey, about yourself. Maybe you've got stories to share. Maybe you have quotes that you really enjoy. Like think about different things. And then what is your strategy? If you are a fan of Gary Vee, he likes the 1-2 punch, right? So it's like value, value, sell. You may do like value, value, sell, and then something lighthearted. Maybe it's Throwback Thursday or Flashback Friday or whatever. Okay. But think about keeping it not just sell, 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 right? We don't want to do that. We gotta break up the monotony there. And people don't like to be sold to. So we have to remember that. So create engaging content, relevant content, show your personality, share your product, your service, make sure people know who you are, what you do, and what you offer. Okay. Now, on LinkedIn, there is a services section and a featured section. I love these sections. If you don't have them filled out, you are missing out. Okay. So take advantage of those opportunities. If you need help with your personal profile, don't forget, I do have a free guide for your LinkedIn profile. Let me put that link in the chat so you have it. But if you need help with anything on your LinkedIn profile, feel free to download this. Tons of tips and tricks, not just the basics, but some really insider tips on that. And again, feel free to stalk my profile. I don't care if LinkedIn tells me that you've been on my page. I know you're just trying to better your own. So feel free to check mine out and see what I've done there. Oh, also on LinkedIn, obviously, don't forget the opportunity that you can write articles, you can do a newsletter. Okay. Lots of opportunities for brand visibility in social media. Okay, moving right along, we're going offline because not everything happens online. Think about different professional organizations that you can get involved with, right? Again, Freelance Exchange, Chamber of Commerce, Ad Club, AIGA, the list goes on and on and on. Nonprofit Connect, right? But don't just join, right? Don't just join, don't just get your listing online. Like become active, right? Get involved. Go to the things, meet the people, volunteer, whatever it takes. Like do what you got to do. Um, oh, thank you, Angie. Do what you got to do to really get the most out of that organization. Networking events, whether it's a happy hour, a coffee meetup, a luncheon, so many opportunities, but look for where your target audience is. Okay. Maybe it's where your existing clients hang out. Where are your partners? Where are your referral partners? I've heard in the past some people are like, "Oh, I'm not joining the freelance exchange. My competition is in there." And I'm like, "Dude, it's co-opetition. We're community, right? We have very different styles and we can refer one another. We can build teams. You're missing out." Okay. So keep that in mind. Um, Award shows are a great opportunity to be seen. Attend, enter your work. If you win in the award show, promote it. Promote the heck out of that, right? Put it on your website, put it on social media, in your email newsletter, put it on your LinkedIn profile, in your bio. The list goes on and on. Attend conferences and seminars. You can sponsor some of these things, whether it's an event or an organization, all sorts of different opportunities to really get your name out there and be seen. Exhibit in trade shows, attend trade shows. Let's meet people, right? We got to put ourselves in these positions to meet people. If you're one who enjoys public speaking, consider doing speaking engagements. Maybe even you write a book to go along with it. I know a professional in the group here right now, Alicia. What, me? Yeah, you. Who is a master of this. Y'all, she has this amazing book. If you want some speaking tips, Back of the Room Productions is her jam or was her jam. But she's amazing. And she could talk all day long about how speaking can really elevate your brand if that is something you are interested in. Think about when you go to these networking events, maybe having a branded name tag that you can wear. Maybe it's got your logo on it, it's got your company name on it. That's super cool. Doesn't cost a lot of money to make. Maybe you have swag that you hand out, maybe at these trade shows, whether it's like stickers or pins or anybody want a cool tumbler, right? You can have swag and get your brand seen. All right. Last but not least in this section is relationship marketing. Again, this is all about relationships. You want to take the people who you've met and really form meaningful connections, strategic connections with these people. And that's how you're going to amplify your influence by creating this network of mutually beneficial relationships, right? So think about when you meet somebody, connect with them on LinkedIn. Invite them for coffee, even if it's a virtual coffee, if you're out of town. Invite them to lunch, invite them for drinks, for happy hour, whatever floats your boat. It's that relationship piece. Or maybe you find an article online that reminds you of the conversation that you had with them and you send it to them. Just like little bits and pieces to stay top of mind. Maybe it's the holidays and you send a holiday gift, whatever it is. Relationship marketing, right? That's what it's all about. Oh, thank you, Cordelia. I love that little testimonial right there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, let's wrap this sucker up. So, being seen is easy, but being remembered really takes effort. And that's why you have to be intentional with your time and you also have to be consistent with your efforts. So, again, if you try something only like once or twice and you're not seeing anything from it, don't give up. Keep going. You can do it, right? Okay, keep going. Try it. Give yourself a deadline, if you will. Maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's 12 months, but you really got to keep going and keep it consistent to see if it's going to pay off or not. So don't be disheartened if it doesn't work right in the very beginning. But remember to make the following your priorities to express who you serve, the problem you solve, and how you're going to let them know that you can help. How can you help them? All right. Visibility does work and it grows when the effort that you put into it meets your purpose, when it meets presence and the right people. Okay. So think about this. We talked earlier about setting aside time every day to work on your marketing. What can you do to work on your visibility as well? Okay. Is it a daily habit? Is it weekly? Is it monthly? To ensure you're boosting your visibility and you're staying consistent and being strategic about it so you don't get burnt out from it. Okay. Thank you all so much for coming today. I'm going to open up the floor to questions here before we jump out. We are close to the end of the time. If you need help with anything, if you need help with your LinkedIn profile, if you want to bounce off anything of my brain, if you want me to do a quick audit on anything, let me know. I am happy to help. You can schedule with me right there. Yeah. Okay. Opening it to questions and comments. Anything.
I have a question. I've got a colleague that I've noticed is suddenly posting a lot more on LinkedIn than I've seen in the past, which is good. Also, when I read the post, I feel like they came from Chat GPT. And maybe it's somewhat of a personal thing. Like as I mentioned earlier, I like using AI as a tool, but I don't feel like I want it to do my work for me. But I also know that at least in search, like for things like blog posts, I've heard that using AI to write for you can limit your reach because you're disadvantaged in search if it can be detected. And I just wondered if you, Julie, or anyone in the group has a perspective or opinion on that, on any of this.
I've heard that as well. And I agree with using it as a tool. And of course, as a writer, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not going to be perfect. And I always want to go back and edit it, for clarity, to make sure it doesn't look like AI, all of those things, and to make it sound more like me. But I've heard the same thing, that it limits your reach. As for the LinkedIn post, that doesn't really bother me. I know people are busy. The ones that are super obvious, yeah, I think they're showing their cards. But Angie, I'm curious, since again, you work in AI a lot more and speak on it anyway. What's your feedback on that one?
I hadn't heard about posts like getting dinged, like getting less reach. I haven't seen that in like any of my newsletters or anything, or the people that I follow on the AI thought leaders on LinkedIn. It If it isn't happening, it's extremely likely that it could. And I mean, the advice that I always give about any content that you generate, is to review and edit it. I mean, you do not just copy and paste blindly. You always review it. And you're always, I mean, if you're you should be copy editing it. You should be checking accuracy for hallucinations and make.
Oh, we lost your voice. Where'd you go? Can you hear me now? Nope, we lost you. Damn it.
It's AI. AI did
Yeah,
it.
thank you so much. I think that that's a great way to end with technical difficulties. Anyway, thank you all for coming today. I don't want to keep you too long, but feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'm always happy to answer or direct you to people who or more intelligent, obviously, in like certain spheres. Let me put my email address in the chat for you. You should have it. I just emailed y'all. Let's rock at juliecortez.com. Very good. Was this helpful? Y'all enjoy?
Yeah.
Awesome. Y'all are going to go boost your visibility now, right? I'm going to see you all over. Right? All right. Hey, Martina's like, stop it. I'm looking at you. Very good. Well, so good to see all of you. Thank you so much for coming. Cordelia, I hope you feel better. And y'all go and rock your businesses, and I'll catch you on the flip end. All right. Take care.
Thanks, Julie.
You're welcome.
Bye.